to the MRL broadcast. We're back for Tier 3 action. We're on an iconic circuit, Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Today, unfortunately, Frostbreath is not with us, but I am here instead. Gazier, joined by Alex Bitto.
Hello, hello everyone.
And
How you doing, Ozzy?
sorry, look at the standings. It's a thrilling battle in this tier. Very close championship.
It is indeed. I think this is one of the first times I've commentated this one. This tier, Max O'Connor seems to be leading by a few points, still on the lead, 11 points. It's a good margin though, and Williams even as well close with Haas, only 22 points between them. Red Goran, someone that we know here before, really close to that lead, and Jones on third place. So I think this on Spa can be, of course, they can cut some points and they can even put the championship tighter. So we'll see.
Last week, we saw a thrilling battle between the Williams and Haas cars. I'm just going to turn my mic up so hopefully they can hear me.
At the moment, I think some drivers and me as well having some issues to join the lobby or at least to connect to services online. Um, so I don't know if the start's gonna be delayed a little bit, but we'll have to see in these moments, as I don't know how many people is there in the lobby. But yeah, I think everyone might be joining in a few moments. Probably some Steam issues.
Yeah, hopefully it's fixed now. No, I don't think so. I'm still really quiet. It looks like at least we have time to fix this before the race starts.
Yeah, for me it's not working though. But don't know if you can be there now in the lobby. Don't know if you are there, but
I'm trying to fix my so they can hear me on the stream.
perfect.
Testing the stream. Can you hear me? Last week we had a thrilling battle between the Williams and Haas cars, and it ended up with Williams taking a lead in the constructors championship. It Grenade Gorin, who was doing very well in the race, he picked up an unlucky drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car delta, which really cost the Haas team. Hopefully they can turn it around and take the lead back on Williams. Looks like we have 19 drivers in the session. We're just missing a Mercedes car, Alex Game F Sim. Hopefully he can get in soon.
Having the same issue as me. Don't know if it's a regional
Yeah,
issue
you are
with
both from Spain. Could be.
could be that. Jasko having the same issue from Turkey, I think he is. Um, but don't know. Really weird to see at the moment.
Looks
Don't
like
know.
Jasko is in now.
Yeah, I just got in. I don't know if I will try once again now if I can join this lobby and we will be soon there on time. Well, not on time, but a little bit delayed. But we hope everything goes good. At the moment, I'm still trying, and I will be trying this moment, but I don't know if I will be able. It doesn't seem like.
How have you tried like restarting it and stuff like that? You tried everything?
I think so. Yeah, I restarted the game, everything, but you
It's
know,
still no.
sometimes it's out of hands. But I mean, I think we can get started probably if just depends if we wait for the other driver that having the same issue or if we go on. I don't know if Arrow is there.
I think we can wait like 2 more minutes. Arrow's in, and Semi I think is Spanish also. So I think it's just a few drivers being affected by this issue. the game is just refusing to connect to online services for Bido right now.
Yeah, for more drivers as well. Seems like.
But we have 19 in the lobby, so I guess we can get going in 2 minutes. So in the standings, we have Grenade Gorn and PW Jones tied for second place, but I think they really want to be overtaking Max O'Connor, who's been had a very good run of races lately.
I think this is set to be a really interesting race. I think the last one we commentated was France on Tier 1 as well, a track that always brings here on the game, and Spa as well, one of those that always can bring something not only for racing but as well because of the rain. And I think weather will be really interesting for today, as normally is. Probably is just clear skies, but still we have the track really good track. It's 20 corners there to the RS straights. Only one that really works because the main straight is actually a little bit short, but that back straight, but that's third sector as well, that it's almost full throttle, will help with some overtakes, and I think we're going to be watching a lot of moves, and especially on that kill straight. And as well, we know that all the mistakes can be really costly. It's a track that doesn't forgive. With that gravel trap zones on sector 3, and of course as well on those curbs only comes and as well on sector 2 on that chicanes, that prolongated chicanes, fast chicanes, and when you need to put the throttle down really fast.
Hopefully Alex can get into the lobby soon and you can too so we can get this race going.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like 20 people are in now. Maybe
Yep,
Alex said it.
I think might be
Yeah, it's Alex is in, so maybe let's. I guess
it's
they'll
only
ready up.
Malaysia.
They'll ready up, and
Yeah, I
hopefully you
think
can get in.
yeah, our drivers will be announced too. Yeah, I'm there as well, so everyone I think should be
All we have to do
able
is
to
just
ready up.
wait patiently a couple minutes, and we're good now. Everyone in. We have a full grid today, Beto. No reserve drivers.
No reserve drivers, a lot of people here, full grid of course. I think we only had one that wanted to join, I think was driver DMV, but didn't have the seat or the opportunity today. But of course, a driver that has been here a lot of time, and I think we'll be watching him later on other rounds. So more luck he will have next week's. But today, as you were saying, 20 drivers, 18 minutes of qualifying, and 22 laps in this race. Now loading for the session that will start in a couple of moments as everything is loading up. Everyone as well there on their end, the drivers uh, just accepting everything and to go further ahead. We will see now which will be the weather for this session.
Just gonna try to fix your mic, maybe, but I'm not sure how to fix it.
I mean, I think people can get used to. I don't think it's that bad, but of course, if it can be fixed, it's better. But I don't know if we have found this well, that solution. Lavifa Soul seems to be having some issues there with the connection to Steam. He has left the session and everyone's reading up. Looks like a clear sky above the heads of everyone here. Lavifa Soul now trying to go in once again.
Oh, we have someone saying in the chat it's a wet race.
Well and well.
It's pretty common around
It's
this track. The rain
it's
does get heavy.
really common. Yeah, I just said that before that the weather can be really important on this track, and of course, there you have it. And the first drivers there to already go out. The first one will be Grenade Goran.
Coming down the straight in the Hess car now.
Railway Championship so far for Grenade Goran
Yeah, and
with
like I
three
said
wins.
before, he had a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car conditions last week, which really cost him. Now he's 11 points behind Max O'Connor for the championship, tied with P3 PW Jones.
Having some issues on my end in terms of lag, and I think that could be a major issue for the race if that still happens. So I don't know
I
if
just
I can
saw
correct it.
the Hess bouncing around with lag a bit, but might be a lobby
Also,
issue.
it might be. Yeah, I wish it's not only my end because now it seems to be kind of fixed it, but a little bit of issues. I don't know if as well they're on the stream for us. It's only me. Yeah, I think it's only me. But there we have Grenade Goran, who will be starting this first lap of qualifying on the Haas, and I hope everything goes good in terms of lag there with the audio, and of course the lag spikes that look like seems to be happening on my end as Arrow has left the session.
I think we're gonna have one of those Steam issues plagued races, Biddle. Steam not
What do you mean
cooperating
with
today.
that?
Like we're gonna have a bunch of people. You have lost connection to Steam and being kicked from the lobby.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that can happen. Probably the dissing is back or some issues with Steam recently. Not been up to date, but last time I checked, it was working good. I don't know if they changed something,
We saw
but on my
Arrow
end,
get kicked from the session. Here, grenades on his lap right now, coming through sector 2.
oof, on my end, it's really awful to see everything. Really difficult.
Maybe
So I
try
don't know if I'll be restarting
yeah, try restarting your game.
or even the PC. I would say.
Pull time predictions. I'm not sure what the times are around this track, but it's probably gonna be very quick from this lobby. I know it says we're in tier 3, but still, they do very fast times in this tier. Following
Yeah, I
Grenade
don't know if
Goran now.
41 probably or high 41. We'll see now when Grenade crosses. It's one of the top drivers here, and of course will be a reference for everyone there on the last corner on the exit already. And it's a 43.0 as a banker. Everything can be improved. Probably at 42.0 or 42 low will be and could be the fastest lap. But still a lot of time left on this session. It was the first one there up there. So we'll see the next drivers. Meanwhile, I'll be restarting my computer, so I'll be soon here, okay?
Sure. We have Semi setting at 143. Max O'Connor is on his lap. The current championship leader, 11 points ahead of P2 and P3 in the McLaren. Coming up to the final two corners of this track now. See what time he can do. Goes past a bit of traffic there from the AlphaTauri. And he sets a 142, good enough for provisional pole. But Carbo goes even faster. Grenade Goran's teammate in a fierce championship battle for the Constructors' Championship with Williams. Just 16 points, I think, or 17 separate them. See Hako, last night's race winner, coming on his lap now. He's going up to Eau Rouge. The one of the most iconic corners in all of F1. Getting a bit of the slipstream from P.W. Jones. His teammate, the Williams team, planning this perfectly. P.W. Jones sailing off to get out of his teammate's way. And we'll see if Hacko returns the favor for him on. Oh, P.W. Jones already set his lap. Just a tiny lift here before you go into the left-hander. Coming through the very technical section of this track. Myfoon getting out of the way. And now onto the long straight where you can just put the power down. We've seen some big accidents at this part of the track in the Amarillo before. Coming up to the line now. See what lap he can do. Should be really good. It's a 1:43.5. Good enough for P7. And let's go on, I guess, with four-door sedan. Must have invalidated his first lap because his tires have one extra lap of life on them. It's good enough for 143 flat. Good enough for P4 on the grid. Arrow, who's had connection problems, but now it seems to be back in the session, and is about to complete his first banker lap.
Here I am.
Oh, welcome back, Beto.
No, Waffle, that was before the stream. Don't mix things. I'll, I'll be now trying to join the lobby, and do not have any issues because the lag on my end was really, really, really bad. Not able to commentate even.
You were watching a PowerPoint, not the race. You were down to 10
Exactly.
FPS. The Aston Martin
Exactly.
cars are doing slipstream, Beto. Arrow and MBS.
I saw the Williams as well.
Oh,
Good
and there
work.
goes Arrow into the wall. He is out of this qualified session. The right front tire snapped off that
Ooh.
car. And
It's really bad for Arrow's confidence. He set the lap before, though it's good because well, everyone will be improving. We'll see
and
how much he falls, but
the Alpha was just driving in the grass while Pixon drove by. Getting completely out of the way. Now in F1, real F1, that crash would be a red flag. This session would be stopped. But thankfully this is the game, so we can just keep going.
thankfully it will be a really knock for the confidence of Arrow.
Well, if you
But of
want
course,
to,
different.
if you're gonna crash Bido, you would definitely want to crash in qualifying and not in the race. It looks like Ayrton has crashed as well. There's no front wing on that Ferrari.
Oof, but at least he's on the track. At least he's still able to come
Yeah,
back to the pits and
he's got all his tires attached to the car still, unlike Arrow.
yeah, that suspension might be legal. Let's see if the the FIA has a look on that. I'm just joking, but really good luck for him there. Still a lot of minutes to improve that. Well, that mark. He's on 17th at the moment without setting any time. So still 8 minutes to try and improve that one. Of course, dry conditions now for qualifying, but it seems like on the race we'll have some drops of rain. I don't know how much. It might be intense. I don't know if you know how much rain we'll have, or just you know that we have rain.
I know we have rain and it should make this race spicy.
It should make it well. Ooh, really good. Now, better
Hopefully
to see.
it's a changing conditions race because that makes things really exciting.
It definitely does because sometimes when it's all the
Oh,
race
we have another
and
spin.
into
Reflex
what it is.
messing up his lap, going into the guardrails and breaking his front wing. He's taking
Well,
a trip through the dirt to come back on circuit.
damage on the front end on that right end plate on that front wing for reflex. Yellow flags now as he leaves. I think it was Jairbo on that Haas by. As I think in a few moments will be starting his lap. That lap that might put even further advantage on Chema. They're on second place, only 1 cent behind, not even 1 cent, half a cent.
The Haas have a
As
1-2 right
as
now.
Grenade, yeah, Grenade Goran just crossed the line in a few moments and set at that lap time even better than Chema.
Arrow won't be able to improve his
As
time.
Max, look at Max,
Yeah, Max
look at
trying
Max
to.
O'Connor.
He's putting his foot down on this championship, saying this is gonna be his race to get a big gap on Grenade, probably.
He needs to. He's at the moment 1 tenth and a half ahead of the Swedish driver on third place, the teammate of Grenade Goran there on the Kimmel Straight. We'll see if he finds an improvement there on sector 1. He does not. 65 milliseconds on red delta. Now entering sector 2, Jerbo.
He's going very fast. And the Haas cars, they need to get back in this constructors championship. They're behind Williams now. Need a big race.
It's O'Connor crashing at the exit of Lake Combs into the wall.
Yeah, so
Well, that's gonna be the best he can do today on qualifying
it's a
because
fortunate time
that
to
car.
crash because there's people going to be coming in for their final runs now, and the track will improve. And
In
he's not
five
going to be able
minutes,
to. Yeah, still 5 minutes to go.
it's a lot of time to improve here. As Jairbo goes a little bit wide, not invalidating that one, I think, as he lifted a little bit.
The game
Two
spared
tenths
him.
improvement. 2 tenths improvement. He
And he's
has
going to get
the slipstream
slipstream.
of his teammate. Yep. Yellow flags as the Great Goran leaves him by.
Coming up to the bus stop
Yep.
chicane now, Biddle.
That might be pole position. We'll see. Depends everything on this
Oh,
braking
he's going
zone.
into the
Well,
pits.
well. He was
Abandoning
gonna
his
find
lap.
an improvement. I think he was gonna find an improvement. We didn't want to do it
R2O
now.
and PW Jones have both invalidated. MBS coming to the pit lane as well. They're getting set up for their final runs, I think. Still
Yeah,
time.
I think Jairbo wants the best conditions for the lap.
Hacko on board with right now. He's on a lap right now, coming up through turn one. Raydan. I don't know how you say that, Biddle.
Where?
Never mind. Let's coming through the straight now. Hacko, last week's race winner.
We'll see if he finds an improvement there. Yeah, it's just tiny. Just tiny for the Williams. Look how much he's riding that curb. Yellow flags ahead.
Oh,
That's on
he
sector 3 as
validated.
he validates. Yeah, he validates there at the exit of corner 9. But he will have he will have to find better luck on the next runs.
Went to Waifun in the AlphaTauri.
Now on
Coming
the same
down.
part as Hako was, just behind him on the map. A little bit wide, but I think that was permissive from the game. Or at least some part of the car was on track.
See if any
On my
tire.
end it seems like he's not using energy and he's low on fuel. We'll see if he's doing any lap time record, but it doesn't seem like
He might be coming down to the
he's.
pits.
Yeah, I think he's going to the pits. Back row. Now improving 1 cent on sector 1. We'll see now as he will cross the line of sector 3 to enter that last sector into
Big
turn
improvement.
15, 16. And there you have it's 4 tenths improvement that might put him into the top 10. Surely, if he can keep that pace into the last chicane.
Backrow says he's on a wet setup because the rain is going to be very wet. Enough for him to choose a wet setup. So it might be a lot of rain.
Yeah, Back row writing, meanwhile, he is on qualifying. Really skills. But he puts the Alfa Romeo into 6th place. 42.9. We have
Oh,
a
we
yellow
have
flag
another
on
spin.
sector
It's
1.
dark.
That's a weird
Oh, never
point to
mind. He
do
might
it.
just be letting people by.
Yeah, I think it was letting people by a seasonal outlap, and I think that was the Mercedes
Reflex
of
invalid.
Alex Game Sim,
Oh, yep.
probably.
Who
No, it
was
was
the
Pixon actually in an outlap.
Who's the first
Where was
driver
it,
on a
Williams?
lap?
I think Alex Game is now at the moment flying.
We're going on board with the Mercedes, the Emerald Constructors Championship leaders. Alex was having connection issues earlier with Steam, but now he's back in the session and on a flying lap.
Improving 1/10 on that first sector. Now until it comes, really easy to do some mistakes.
There's his
We're
teammate.
taking his teammate, yeah. Not getting this slipstream from him. Really difficult corner to nail on now. If you touch the curb, you can unsettle the car completely.
And go completely spinning off.
Exactly, it's a really high speed corner.
He uses a lot of curb there, but
Risking it. We'll see if he finds a better improvement now in sector 2. It's 8/10 improvement.
he nearly invalidated. His car's nearly crossed that white line that you cannot cross.
Now into sector 3, low on fuel. We hope it's enough to finish that lap. Low on battery as well. So he's almost reached those 4 megajoules per lap.
Yeah, Spa is one of the tracks where it cuts off just before the end if you don't conserve it correctly.
But he has done it good there to conserve it. Up to P6, 42.8. 1 second improvement there for the Spaniard. As we have, I think, is Jairbo, who will be starting a lap. Actually, well, just behind our 20. Well, he has crashed into the main straight. Don't know if
Yeah,
that
oh
speed
no, and he
was.
almost got hit by the Aston Martin, it completely in the way. Now
And
he's
in my end, it
reversing.
seems like the session has ended.
Yeah,
Well, Jairbo will not have that last try. Will Chema though, as I don't know if he's improving there on sector 1. Doesn't seem like.
here
Grenade Goran.
comes PW Jones through the final 2 corners now.
And he's finding an improvement of almost 2/10. We'll see what he has on sector 3
Oh,
when he's
he's
going
going
to
to
the
the
pits.
pits. He will be starting this race from P9 at the farthest up.
We'll see Grenade Goran as he was improving on sector 1. Well, its reflex was at 42.1. That's a 3/10 improvement from Max O'Connor, and Dark as well, just ahead of his teammate.
R2O
Really good result
also
for qualifying
on a
at the
lap.
moment for McLaren.
Yeah, provisional 3-2. Here comes R2O in the Red Bull.
The last corner, throttle down now. We'll see traction opening DRS.
Then we'll go
And
to
it's an
Grenade.
improvement to the top 3. Really good improvement. We'll see now Grenade Goran. He's on the last corner as well. 1/10 and a half. He found on sector 2. How much on sector 3? And it's not enough for pole position.
Pixon.
It's P5.
And the Mercedes coming to the line now. One of the last cars to be on a lap. Good for P13.
Alex team will not be able to improve further. Four-door sedan not improving either. I think it was Haku crossing the line. And a Ferrari, I think, of Levi Fasol.
Oh, and there's a Mercedes in the grass of Alec getting out of the way for some people to go to the pits.
But I think that might be it.
Reflex on pole.
Out of nowhere. I
After
didn't see that
crashing
coming.
earlier in the session, he fixed his wing and got on pole. We'll get a prediction going to see if he will win this race from pole.
And really interesting to see that Jairbo lost it on the last corner before starting his final attempt.
Yeah, he could
He was
have
not able.
possibly been on pole position. He had a lot of pace.
He was not able to improve that one.
Spend your
That
channel
lap
points. Sorry.
The lap I think is the first lap that he set it on qualifying. So
Yeah.
was the bunker.
And it's the first lap he set, and it's the best lap he set. The best lap anyone could set in this session. So spend your
That will be
channel
the
points.
result.
Yep, you can go through that if you want.
We have Reflex out of nowhere. Not too far back, Dark as well, finding an improvement that put it the McLaren in the front row. Arturo with the Red Bull really close to Dark as well. It's really close there to be in Spa. A really long track. Max O'Connor on fourth place after retiring at the beginning of qualifying. Winit Goran closing that top five with the Spaniard team on sixth place. Anja, Erbo, and Jaco on seventh and eighth position. Alice Game ninth and further than the last of the top 10 drivers. We'll see which are the weather conditions because it seems like everyone will be selecting the same compound as it will be rain. But the bottom 10 will be watching that
There's
when we get the formation lap.
a lot of rain, but
Well,
I think it's Inters. No, it's full wets. You can see in the
I
Mercedes
think
garage.
I think that's full wet. That has to be full wet.
Yeah, they're
I don't know.
cyan rim tires, matching the Mercedes wing.
Don't know if my PC can handle those graphics at
Gotta
the
turn
moment
it
suffering.
weather down to low like I have. I have it down on low bit and it's still a lot of rain.
Yeah, I think I have the same, and I'm watching all the rain falling down. But of course, I'll double check. Um, but that's gonna be really interesting to see, and I hope everything works ideal.
And then eventually, you know what this means, Beto? We're gonna see the inters when the changeover period happens. Yeah, even on low graphics, there's still massive puddles on my screen. Oh, and
Ultra low.
there goes reflex
Ooh.
already. Getting off the
Well,
line is a bit difficult, I guess, when it's this wet.
almost contact there.
Well, there's no
Watching
contact on
reflex.
formation lap, I think. Well, I guess he ghosted through the
Well,
first few cars, and then there
yeah,
was contact.
I think there we have it. The crash between Reflex and Ernest, disqualifying both of them
This is
and resetting them
this is
to the
really
grid.
horrible for Reflex Biddle. He's gonna start this race with no tire temps on full wets.
Yep, that's gonna be like driving on ice, literally ice.
Oh, and the prediction
But
is still up. Will Reflex win this race from pole?
it's gonna get a little bit more difficult now. We'll have to protect it really, really good. But well, I think on turn one
Oh, and there's
he
another
will
spin.
understeer.
Hako going around. Look at these conditions. Even the formation lab making drivers spin.
Well, don't know how this will finish, but I know how it's starting, and
Yeah,
I'm a little bit terrified with these conditions,
terrified
giving
but
Spa
excited.
20, yeah, giving Spa 2021 flashbacks. But of course, we'll be racing here unless Steam says otherwise. But at the moment, everything going perfect, or at least on the way to be perfect for some of these drivers. Reflects not having the best
Yeah,
start of the formation lap,
Reflex
but
is
Dark,
waiting on this grid for the rest of the field. They're coming through sector 2 now.
and it's a really slow lap in a formation lap conditions in Spa
It's
on these
treacherous
conditions.
right now. Look at the
It's
raindrops
almost
bouncing off the Red Bull. Look at these conditions. Oh, and Arturo's all over the back of Dark, ready to get this race going. Dark going slowly to the line.
same radio from Reflex. Seems like rear tires are warm, but fronts will be difficult to control. So we hope that the traction is good there on the line. The
Yeah,
thing, of course, as he says, will be probably the understeer
he had a
on those three corners, and of course at the uphill to Radillion. That might be interesting. The drivers might not know how much grip there is out there. I'm probably not lifting too much, used to the dry conditions, going full throttle, and probably they will. Well, there might be something to see there.
the conditions of this race, but it's gonna be raining, but the rain is gonna slowly stop as the race goes on until it's dry at 45 minutes.
Well, that might be really, really interesting, and even more if we have a safety car at the first stint that might put those dry conditions even before than expected. So those weather dynamics gonna be interesting surely, as we are waiting. I think that's Fixon, or I think probably Hako that had that spin there at the beginning of this lap, and we are almost ready to celebrate this Tier 3 race, round 13 of 18. Reflex on pole position with really cold tires, at least on the front. We'll see the traction for the Alpine driver. We have the lights on. It's 4, 5 red lights here in Spa-Francorchamps, and Reflex out of the line. We'll see Dark, and the traction for the McLaren already alongside is gonna be ahead on turn 1. R2 as well trying to materialize that move, but it's Max O'Connor on the inside who takes that place, and Sema at the outside of the Red Bull taking as well that place up to 4th as Dark takes the first spot at the moment. We'll see now up to Roddy Leon, everyone lifting. R2 having some issues going off track, almost colliding with Tema, and a lot of traffic behind him. He has Grenade Goran on his back. Look at the Swedish driver now at the inside of the Red Bull, putting that move on as Max O'Connor as well makes a 1-2 dream for McLaren on the first lap as Reflex trying to warm
Oh,
up
we have a spin,
those
Bido. The
fronts.
Alpha, a back row going around, taking many cars with them, but it's mostly
Massive
clean.
issues there for a lot of people on the grid with those conditions, as you were saying, back row, and his teammate as well suffering. Arrow on the back of both of them, and Ayrton Trulaski at the last place. Grenade Goran taking one spot as well there with the overtake to Tema.
It's a dream
And here
start for McLaren, Bido. 1-2 right now, head of Reflex. Dark with a over 1 second gap.
Dark is really working on that, improving every corner, but he needs to take it carefully. This situation is really difficult to manage. Reflex seems like he has put the tires into the conditions that they want to be, because at the moment is still at the back of that second McLaren. It's Jair, but they're on 7th place, trying to overtake Arturo at
And
the
Alex
outside
Games
of
and Hako
Langevin.
side by side.
Well, I think that was contact between Jairbo and Arturo. He goes a little bit offline and goes diving in the inside there for the final chicane, covering that move. Really good for him. Up into P6.
The Williams
Exchange
are
at the back as well.
Yeah, the Williams are all over this Mercedes, and there's a contact, and it's getting everyone behind to catch up to them. Like the AlphaTauri of Waifun is right behind this battle now. Williams side by side into turn 1.
Jones at the inside of his teammate. Ahead of them, we have Jairbo and Tema exchanging position, and further 7 and R2 as well doing the same exchange at the same corner. Really difficult here on Rally Leon. Look at Jones now at the back of his teammate.
I wish we had 2 sets of cameras to watch both these battles, but
Always brings the action, MRL. We have it on France as well, and we're having it at the moment here. Hako almost overtaking Alex Game at the end of the Camel Straight. No DRS, of course, with these situations, but the exit out of Radillion is going to be really important to carry all that speed into turn 7. Hako going a little bit wide on Bruxelles, and his teammate is going to take that inside line, and it's Jones ahead of Hako.
yeah, bit of exchange between the Williams there.
Look at Jones.
PW Jones coming at Alex now.
Jones suffering as well, as we saw him turning in no name in turn 11. A little bit wide on the steering, almost into the wall, but he controlled that car, and now cutting that gap down to the Mercedes ahead of him.
Look at that camera.
Exchange between Tema and Arturo. And for Barcelona looking just behind.
Sema ahead of 4-door right now.
I can tell you, for Tema doesn't like these conditions. He always is a little bit impatient with the throttle. I've known him a lot before, and he doesn't like
he likes it when it's warm.
Conditions.
He likes it warm and sunny on the beach with a nice
drink.
Not in the rain in Belgium.
Look at that. Jones now trying to move on Alex. Not gonna work as Dark sets the fastest lap. Yellow flags on sector 3, as I think we have Pixon that has spun on the last corner, and Arrow going into the pits. Probably for some exchange of that front wing.
Yeah, he might have front wing damage. On board with Grenade right
Pixon
now.
spinning again, but now in the mid straight.
And that's unfortunate for the Mercedes driver.
Well, and that's a virtual safety car as well for all of the grid.
He has no front wing on that Mercedes car.
Double spin for him, losing 15 seconds to
Oh, there's
his.
an issue here for Ayrton and Ernest, but I don't know what was causing that.
Might be the Delta. Do you think probably the Delta playing some games with
I
these
don't know, but
drivers,
the
or
Red Bull was just parked in the middle of the track. It was a bit weird, but we're moving on. We're on with PW Jones now.
will we try to nail this virtual safety car restart and
Yeah,
try to
get ahead of
put.
Alex.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he needs. He needs to create these opportunities when they are handed to him. The moment, trying to control the Delta as better as he can. Of course, you always need to be green, otherwise you will get that drive-through that can, of course, ruin your race. Still too early, as we were talking. Drive-through penalty for Jasko, speeding under safety car, and at the same time Jones almost trying it on like on Alex game.
He had to back out of
That
it.
that opportunity opened, but it wasn't a really difficult corner to keep it.
He's coming up to a good spot though, the final straight. One of the best overtaking spots on this track.
We'll see how better is the exit there for the Williams,
Look at
and
the
if he can.
spray when we go on board,
He's
using up
getting
the
closer.
battery.
He's getting closer. We'll see if he can do it on Blanchimon. It's gonna be really difficult. He needs to yield a little bit there with the throttle.
Alex went in the grass
Lifting.
a bit.
And Jones will be waiting patiently. But behind, we have a lot
A
of
lot of
cars
action.
together. It's MBS.
Yeah.
MBS at the back of the
Oh,
teammate
look
of
at the
Jones.
counter steering. His car was
That
going the
was
other direction.
that was beautiful for MBS. Good, really good save. But lost a lot of time doing that.
The Ferrari, Lavi Fossile, coming at the very back of this pack. Gonna be following
Following
MBS up
that,
the hill.
following that strain
Oh, we
created
have
at the
yellow
moment by Alex
flags
game.
in the final
And it's
corner.
Pixon. I think it was Pixon once again.
It's okay.
We'll go to the pits. Alex Gameson and Jones exchanging position at the Camel Straight. And the outside goes Jones. A really solid move. But trying the switchback is a Spaniard now for Lee comes.
Yeah, but it's
We'll
not
see if he
good
finds
for
the way.
it's not good for Jones right now. He's very far behind Grenade and Max, his championship rivals. He needs
The
to
moment
pull away from Alex and get it further up in this grid.
and the moment Grenade and Reflex getting stuck. Looks like behind Max O'Connor, who doesn't seem to have the same pace as his teammate. Probably setting up the cars differently to just
These
get the advantage
conditions,
on different stints.
the conditions suit Dark. Dark, he's British. He's used to the rain. Unlike Sema, who's Spanish, doesn't like the rain.
It has to be that, surely. Has to be surely that.
Yeah. These are Dark and Max. These are their conditions.
I think
McLaren.
Reflex as well,
Oh, a
who is
big
from
spin
Scotland.
from Waifun, but he collects the car almost towards the barrier. We'll go to MBS, who's right behind Hako. Hako really struggling in P12 right now.
Losing some places as Dark sets the fastest lap once again. Yellow flag there on sector 2 as Alex Game goes
Oh,
into
we
the
have someone
pit.
going to the pits. It's Alex Games. He might be thinking
Alex.
Inters. Waifun and
Yeah,
Hako
yeah.
follow him in.
Yeah, it was Alex going to the pits and intermediates for him, yeah? Indeed.
I think, yeah, this is definitely the crossover period.
First stint completed for some of these drivers now, putting those intermediates. Ernest having that penalty for multiple warnings. We'll see how good is improvement for the Mercedes with those intermediates. We'll see when he comes to sector 2 how much he can find. Back row has retired after contact on first corner
It's
with
gonna
the
be a
wall,
safety
and that's a
car.
safety car. And that's a safety car. That's gonna help a lot of these drivers that stay out, because that try of undercut for Alex Game and other drivers are gonna be
Spoiled.
neutralized with that safety car. Yeah.
It's great for Dark and Max, who can box and come back out in the same positions.
think everyone has to pit. I think everyone has to pit for intermediates. Or probably it was a gamble from Alex, but
He's very unlucky. I wonder what happened to back row. He's in the wall. He lost the car in the wall, turn one.
I think that was on traction.
Yeah, I guess the change of conditions might have caught him out because the rain is slowing down. Going to inter tires now, off the full wets.
Dry setup for back row. Happened the inevitable for him, as he says to us on the chat. Really unfortunate for him,
It
but it's
also
the first
happened
retirement.
lap one for him too. Unfortunate for the Alpha driver, but we have Jasko still in this race. The safety car will help him catch back up after he served a drive-through earlier.
The leader pitting, and his teammate as well. Everyone there on the top is pitting.
Everyone being
We'll
careful at the
see.
line. They don't want to get 5 seconds.
Everyone pitting there, yeah. I think it's clear that the intermediates might suit better these cars.
And we're on lap
It's like
6 of 22. Should be these inter tires can make it all the way to the end from here.
I don't think so. With this safety car,
What
I think
happened
that was
to
right
Dark?
condition.
He lost out of position to Reflex at the exit.
Do you think there was some kind of lag?
I don't know, but wasn't he in P1 by a while? Yeah, he comes out P3 after the pit stops.
He had 4.5 seconds, and it wasn't because
Well,
of double stacking, as he was ahead.
his car was on the exit. It was like all the way on the right side. It was weird. Maybe some cars
Might
ghosted through him.
or might be probably almost a spin, and he had to save it. And the other cars take advantage of that, but he will have to make the work back, as he's now down to P3. Not gonna be happy.
Yeah, he was clear of everyone in this race. Now he's gonna have to be behind Reflex and Max O'Connor to see what traffic is like.
Max O'Connor now into the lead after starting on P4, only setting 2 laps on qualifying, retiring at the middle of that session after a crash at the exit of turn 9, the last corner of Lecombs. And well, now at the lead,
So the
he didn't
championship,
did, didn't seem to, yeah, as well the leader of the championship, but he didn't well he did it didn't seem to him to have the pace there at that stint with the full wets. We'll see if that changes with the intermediates.
right now, the championship leader in P1 of this race. His next closest competitor all the way down in P4, and then PW Jones down in P9. This could be
Might
the
be like,
race that decides the championship.
well, I think it's too early at the moment. I think the difference was only 11 points between Max O'Connor and the second place, Grenade Goran.
But it could put a massive stamp on it if Max O'Connor can close this out.
Surely. At the moment, it's 20, no, sorry, 13 points of difference, I think, between Max O'Connor and Grenade Goran, as it stays at the moment. But of course, a lot of laps yet with fights that will be on this race.
And Hess so far beating the Williams cars on the Constructors' Championship in this race. Hacko down in P14. The way should be in next lap, the safety car. The rest of the grid is catching up to it now.
Yeah, we have Pixon and Arrow. Well, Dark going into the pits, probably damage for him.
He might have hit the
Well,
wall, and that's why he lost his positions. He's gonna
it has to
cycle
be that.
down all the way to the back of this grid. He's gonna be in last
Yeah,
place.
he's gonna be last place. Or probably going to the dryers. No, he's not even trying that. Intermediates. But it seemed like the win was gonna
So,
cease a little bit.
so what happened to Dark is, on the exit after pitting for the inters, he snapped to the wall at the pit exit, broke his front wing.
Yeah, he changed that front wing now. At the last place, he was leading before this safety car. He's gonna be
Yo, look at
really angry in that
the rain has
cockpit.
stopped a bit.
Not on my end though.
Oh, it's like it stopped. It's barely. If you squint, you can see it. But
There's a lot of spray still.
There's
A lot
people
of
in the chat
spray.
saying that Dark should have went for the dries. Risk it
Yeah,
all.
I think he had to risk it because now he has to overtake everyone with the same conditions, and that's gonna be surely difficult.
He might
Now
go
on to 96,
spinning,
please.
yeah, spinning into the wall while trying to battle everyone.
He has the pace, surely. He said that fastest that pole position. Of course, it wasn't dry conditions, not on
What
these
a
ones, but
what a change of fortunes, and this is why people love racing. He was 4.5 seconds ahead in P1. Now he's all the way in P19, last place.
thanks to the safety car.
Well,
Thanks to the safety car,
also
that
because of
happened to Dark.
thanks to his controller, also apparently.
The safety car was brought back row, spinning, I think, at the exit of turn 1, having contact with the wall, and making him to retire after that suspension was broken. Lap 7 of 22. Safety car might be in this lap. We'll have the race control notification soon, after, of course, they cross that sector 3 line. There we have it. And Max O'Connor, who was not leading this race till now, will be doing it. On lap 7,
I had to get a drink of water to be ready for this restart. Coming up to the line now. Max warming his tires up. He'll get to decide when to go.
now warming those fronts, really important to do it. You don't want to understeer on that on the source on first corner, and of course you don't want to understeer surely on Radillion, and before that or Rush the moment the safety car in the pit lane, so whenever Max wants he will put that pedal to the metal.
We'll see if Reflex
Most
syncs
likely,
up with him.
yeah, most likely go. Well, there you have it. Short shifting to third and putting the overtake button on. Reflex 5 tenths behind and closing, but it wasn't the
Carbo
best for
going
him. Look
inside.
at
There's
that
big
pull,
contact between the Red Bull and Haas. And it's gonna cost
and
Grenade Goran, who goes sailing off.
loses 2 places.
Carbo
And
going into P3.
Jair, we're gonna take that place from his teammate who started on P7, now up into P3. But look at that exchange. Look at Wi-Fi now.
With PW
Really close
Jones.
to MBS. Sorry, and Greenade Goran. Look how close he is now on
Yeah,
Arturo.
he didn't like that being pushed off.
Surely, surely I was angry about that. He will need to take that place back. And we'll see what the stewards think about that move, because it didn't seem too fair for the Swedish driver.
Look at the lockup on the right front there.
Really usual to happen there in Brussels, and even more with these conditions of low grip. Look at the exit now from no name from Grenade Goran. But it's not enough, of course, to take the move there into Puan. Really difficult to do it there, even on dry conditions.
Still, this track is not. It's definitely not dries. Look how wet it is.
It's not for tries. There's a spray there. Still, it's
Oh,
dumped, and we have that yellow flag
it's
from Hako.
oh, it's Hacko. I thought it was a Mercedes.
Hako and probably Pixon as well, no? But it seems like Hako was the one suffering.
Yeah, Hacko settled back into last place now. Wyfoon and
Suffering.
MBS very close. Wyfoon is thinking about it, but he shuts the battery down. Not close enough. What about Arrow? Spaniard. Oh, completely off track there.
Yeah, and lost some time there.
Oh, almost contact. He has to dive out of the way.
Well, that's a little bit moving on the braking, I might say. Dark trying to take that place. I think Dark is gonna take both of them. What a move from Dark on the inside of Ernest, on the inside of Arrow, and up into P15. He
Arrow
was
has to take
on.
evasive action.
Well, and look at that move from Arrow trying it on the inside, and Ernest as well putting that car.
A big
It's gonna create
contact.
contact, yeah, and that's damage as well for the front wing of Arrow. He's not gonna be happy about that. Don't know how. Where did Ernest come from?
They might have been struggling with the braking and with these conditions, and the tires just not ready yet.
I think Arrow was trying the move there at the inside of Dark, but didn't see Ernest coming there for the dive either. And that might be the race for Arrow, as he has damage and he has to pit once again.
Okay, well, that was the double dive bomb. Look at Dark. Let's go. Let's just follow Dark, climbing back up the order, side by side with the Mercedes now.
He's gonna take it there on Rochelle's. Sorry there. 14th place now.
Oh, but the Mercedes. Alex not gonna give this up.
Well, there we have it. He has to, as Dark is just ahead.
He poked
12
his wing in
places
there.
lost. 12 places lost for the McLaren of Dark, starting this race on P2. And now he has to climb back after taking that lead on lap 1 on the first corner,
Yeah,
extending
after
that gap to 4.5.
Reflex
But
had a
now,
poor start. Reflex lost
Max
out.
Corner
Yeah,
seems to be leading comfortably a little bit there with a
Carbo
Reflex
is thinking about P2. Max was fastest.
55.6. That's a good improvement from the last fastest lap, but I think it was from Dark. Ayrton Terlaski as well, improving even further. No traffic for him at the moment. 1 second is the difference between him and the 11th place.
Carbo, the Haas going flying up the hill.
He was almost sliding there. Really dangerous to see, but he controlled it. And he has gained a lot of time,
Not enough
almost to
though.
make that overtake, but it's not enough, of course,
PW
for that
Jones,
four-door sedan.
it's enough though. Yeah, on four-door
Four-door
sedan.
sedan losing that place with Jones up into P7, and it's 5 places from the beginning now for the Williams. One of the winners here today, Lavi Fasol as well on that 9th place, taking 8 places for him, and his teammate as well, 8 places from the start. Started on the last place without setting a lap.
Oh,
And now Max
Wyfoon
O'Connor,
on the grass completely, right behind MBS. It's like
no
going,
name,
yeah. I was like going board with Wyfoon. He was completely on the grass, but
might be
still,
suffering there.
still all over the back of MBS.
Look at that exchange as a Reflex. I think has done a mistake there. And Jarva has just overtaken him
Yeah, we caught it
at
a
the
bit
exit
too
of
late,
15.
but Care was
At the exit of
into
15, yeah.
E2.
I was gonna say that Reflex was really closing the gap to Max O'Connor. He was under the second and almost at the half second. But there went everything out for the Alpine driver.
Grenade.
Let's see.
Will he go for it on Arturo, who's having trouble coming out of the corner, coming out of the chicane?
Fastest lap for Jarbo, who pressurized Reflex to that mistake as well.
Gerbo might win this race. He has a lot of pace.
Oh, we don't want to 6 him. Look at Dark with that fastest lap. 7th over the rest. And we have a yellow flag from Dark. Oh, no. Well, probably too fast.
All his work has been undone.
Yeah. He lost 1 place only. No, sorry, 2 places there. But a lot of time for him.
It's
He needs
frustrating
another 50 car.
when you're in P1 and now you're in last, and then you spin and you're back where you were just. It's a very frustrating race for Dark.
We're halfway through now. Lap 11 of 22. Still a lot can be happening there on these
Wyfoon
last 11 laps.
going for the move on MBS, going for the switchback. He's gonna get it done.
At that move, look at that switchback, amazing from the AlphaTauri side by side. I think now into Puon as MBS has to yield, didn't have the pace to get the side by side on that corner. Really good move from iPhone, who was actually looking for it. Like these last 3 laps.
Yeah, MBS was
Yes,
struggling coming out of the previous corner.
and we'll see Grenade Goran, who is as well chasing Arturo for that before.
A lot of
Now
contact
sector
through this chicane we've seen over the years.
We'll see if he can get it there on the chicane of the bus stop. Picks on getting that penalty. Grenade looking from the inside. He's not gonna dive. He has to lock both of the tires on that front end. Trying to maximize the exit on that 4th gear. Not gonna work as he gets a little bit of oversteer. at the exit.
Surely he goes for it now. Let's see the power from the Haas versus the Red Bull power, the Honda power
It
unit.
all depends on Riley on at the exit of that corner to keep it on the Kimmel straight. Now shifting to 7th, but getting the energy now. At the exit, he's getting closer, closer and closer on Kimmel straight. No DRS, of course, but that energy on full display for Grenade Goran. He will try the outside line, most likely. Arturo defending that one really, really late.
Yeah, Arturo broke the slipstream at the perfect time and Grenade didn't follow him.
Yeah, I think Grenade. Oh, that he had better straight line speed. It wasn't that much better. Not enough to catch him.
He's gonna have to settle for another lap to try it again.
I think that was the move that he was waiting for.
Yeah, he should have stayed in the slipstream maybe. But we're on board with Hako now. It's right behind Alex and Dark, right behind him. Dark, the quickest driver on track easily, but stuck down in P16.
His mistakes as well. Of course, the safety car sparked those mistakes, but at the end of the day, his mistake. We won't be happy about that because it was a really good chance to cut points there for the championship. We'll see Grenade Goran now, but it's a little bit far as they go to the bus stop chicane. Jairbo, meanwhile, the teammate of Grenade, catching the leader, half a second behind him. We'll see Grenade now as he tries to maximize that exit with 4 gear, but having still a little bit of oversteer.
Let's see what
But
he
look at now.
does now.
Look at him now, because it seems like he is faster on Radlion.
He had a
And now
way better
closing with that
exit.
slipstream. Yeah. He needs to do it now. We'll see if he can get it better. He is really, really close. He needs to do it now. That is the opportunity he has been waiting for. Side by side on the camel straight between Grenade Goran and Arturo. Arturo on the inside. Grenade has to risk it on the outside
Oh, it could be a
line.
safety car. Jasko's in the wall just up ahead.
Well, and Grenade just overtook before that safety car, I think. And he's just ahead of him.
Oh, Jasko's in the wall at a Rouge. We could see the track dry up with these two safety cars. Because remember, the rain was supposed to stop at 45 minutes.
I think it's actually raining, or it has stopped raining.
We might see. Oh, we already have. Before I was even gonna say it, Alex on the softs, Dark on the softs, Pixon going mediums.
Yeah, they need to risk it surely. They need to put the new tires because probably when the safety car gets restarted, sorry, the race gets restarted, probably the track is gonna be dry. So they need to do the pit stop now.
We'll see what Max O'Connor and Carbo choose to do. If any of the top 10 choose to go to softs. And I think it's definitely softs from here. Pixon opting for the mediums for some reason.
Well, I don't really know. To be honest, we'll leave at least 7 laps, and it's Spa Francorchamps. It's really long laps. Don't know if the subs can make it, but at least 7 laps. Taking into account that might be on the lap 15, the restart. Dark as well pitting there, but he's gonna be suffering this out lap from the pits. And if the leader doesn't pit, he might be lapped, but there goes everyone. No, actually, I was confusing the McLarens. It was Max O'Connor pitting now. Dark already on sector 3. We'll see if he can get an undercut.
Everyone going for the softs, or going for slick tires, I mean. No one's staying out on inters.
Yeah, everyone pitting for the softs.
Yeah, because the rain has
Only
stopped.
Only Pixon with the mediums.
It's gonna be.
We'll
We're gonna see dry running for the rest of this race. We might see
do you
DRS
think
soon.
do you think it's now ready for softs or?
Let's go on board and see what it's like. Still a couple raindrops on screen. No
I don't know if
spray.
there's spray.
No spray on the back of grenade.
Yeah.
again, people pit just before the safety car comes out, and it costs them. Max O'Connor
Both
leading
of
this
our,
race from Carabo, Reflex, Grenade in P4, R2 of the Red Bull in P5.
we'll
Yeah,
look at both of the Romeos. Both creating that safety car. Last place for both of them. We're gonna be happy.
yeah. Alpha's gonna have to speak about they're packing up, getting ready for the next race in the Netherlands. We have
A really difficult track to overtake.
it's gonna be a very exciting race. There's always chaos at the Dutch Grand Prix. And we have both Haas cars in the top five right now. Williams struggling a bit.
P7 for Jones and P13 for Hako. Hako struggling on those wet conditions, probably waiting for this moment. Has to be his stint. Of course, the DRS will be enabled soon. 3 laps after the safety car gets restarted. Sorry, the race gets restarted after the safety car, surely.
The traction is still going to be very sketchy because the track is still a bit wet, and the tires are not going to be as hot as you warming them up under safety car conditions. So that we could see some people spinning.
But I think the traction that they got used to the traction on the rain, so I think um well at the beginning you will feel a lot of grip, but then afterwards you will compare that grip to the qualifying grip and you would think that you can push even more, but sometimes you push too much and go to the wall. So probably that can happen. People having too much confidence on the track and sometimes leading to crashes. The moment one more lap of safety car will have, as just Ernest and Arrow have catched that safety car queue. Arrow having another chance to bright, because after that incident with, actually I think it was Ernest, they have gone both to the back. Pixon not pitting, not reading the signals, let's say. 17 drivers, sorry, with the subs, and only one driver with the mediums. He could take the crossover point though at the final stage of the race, but could be too late. We saw that happening last week on France on Tier 1 with Richie, selecting those mediums, trying something similar. But I think the mediums with this temperature might not work as he wants. Probably softs might seem to be the best option.
Yeah, I don't remember how many laps were left when Richie went mediums, but his tires came in to play just as the softs were dying.
He needed 2 more laps. It didn't happen, but it was still a good performance from him. We'll see if Pixon can do something similar, but he needs the softs to take places now, and the restart is on 15th place. Richie was on 3rd place, so he needed to conserve the podium. Pixon otherwise needs to attack. So probably that's a different construction of the strategy, but we'll see if it works for him. Will be 7 laps, I think,
We'll be
to
starting on
the
lap
end.
16. Yeah, so 7 laps to go.
7 laps to go. The tire wear I don't think will be that high, or at least the difference between them won't be that high. Only 1 lap uh, difference, and it was an outlap from some of these drivers, from Alex Games team, everyone at the back having 1 lap older tires. Safety car now on turn 14, going to 15, which might be the last corner of that sector too, and will be of course the signal there that the safety car is in this lap. Max O'Connor for the second time today leading a safety car restart, and Jairbo this time ahead of Reflex on that safety car restart. We'll see the reflex of Jairbo, and we'll see how he does it there at the first stage of this stint. Gonna be really interesting to see how this driver is gonna measure that grip, and of course how fast they get used to those conditions. Safety car now onto the bus stop. Chicane going into the pits, and Max O'Connor now can push whenever he can, whenever he wants, and whenever he will do it now, waving still the fronts. and waiting for that exact moment, and I think it will be now at the exit of the chicane, putting that overtake button on, and it seems like a really good restart for him. Amazing restart for Max O'Connor, almost 8 tenths as he goes into last source. Jones, driver was closest there on the first corner, not able to make that move stick onto Tema, but it's Dark overtaking Alex Game Sim. And look at Dark flying now, but he has a gap of 1.3 seconds ahead of him. He's not gonna be happy about that. He needs to catch up at the moment. Arrow as well, overtaking one of the Red Bulls. It was Ernest, the victim from the Spaniard, and can be the victim of Ayrton Torlaski, who's just behind the Ferrari. We'll try that. He's just on the inside on that Camel Straight, and now going a little bit wide on light comes. Ernest trying the switchback, trying to put the car perfectly for the exit, but the exit for the Ferrari seems really, really good, and takes that 17th place.
Yeah, what an exciting restart. Max with a massive lead now. And it's going to help
And
him because he's
Wyphon,
out of DRS range.
Wyphon and MBS going for the second round of battle. As Wyphon has catched again MBS, correcting that oversteer, the Alpha Tauri on turn 13. We'll see now on sector 3 if he can close, but a lot of battles can happen now with these laps. There's only 6 laps remaining there for the end of
Look
this
at
race.
Hako side by side with the AlphaTauri, and they're a bit of contact, but he's going to go for it
Oh,
anyway. Going
no,
off
he's going
track.
really wide, really going wide. iPhone going to the pits,
Yeah, he broke his front
and
wing.
Ako getting overtaken by Dark, who's already into P11. 2 places there gained on that section, 3 overtakes in 1 lap.
Let's see Arturo coming up the hill now at the back of Grenade.
But Grenade having that slipstream from Reflex, actually a really good exit from Grenade Goran out of that turn 5 and turn 6, but not able to catch to make the move. Jones as
Ayrton's
well.
side by side with Arrow.
Oh, Ayrton, yeah, at the back.
Oh, look at the move from the Ferrari. Almost gets it done.
Might be on the exit, might be on Rochelle's, looking for that inside. Arrow not gonna. Well, Arrow going wide there on Rochelle's, and Ayrton. Ooh, Arrow on the inside. Sorry, on that entry of the corner, sliding too much, probably.
Dark
And
gaining 3
Ayrton going
seconds.
wide. Well, that's almost race over for him in terms of points.
See, PW Jones is up into P7 now, right at the back of Sema. They're gonna go flying
Arturo,
down the back straight now.
but look at Arturo as well, flying now at the back of Renate Goran. Both of them with that powerful slipstream on sector 3. Grenade from Reflex on Arturo from Grenade. Arturo braking really late, almost
Let's see DRS enabled now.
has to be. Fastest lap there for Max O'Connor, who has broken that DRS window with Cervo, Arrow and Pixon. Both Spaniards fighting there for P14. Arrow
There it
gets that
is.
move done. The mediums doesn't seem to be working.
We'll have DRS on this straight. Ayrton going side by side with Pixon. We're gonna go back up the order to Arturo.
Yeah, red as well for Grenade. It's gonna be difficult to overtake there. They need to conserve the batteries to attack at the end. But look at Jones now. Sema was vulnerable without DRS, as well as MBS, vulnerable from Dark, as Dark gets that move done, and climbing back the order. The moment on P10, real P11 with that penalty on his name. Starting on P2. Not gonna be happy shortly. I think the driver that has committed the mistakes were just at the moments that they didn't need to be done. Small mistakes that lead to big consequences, let's say. iPhone now onto the last place and takes a penalty, and Dark spins at the exit of 14, and that's damage for him. Another mistake from Dark. He falls into B14, and I think that's a race over
Yeah,
already for him.
race over for the fifth time again.
Yeah, third, fourth, fifth time, I don't know. Which is now as Reflex.
Yeah,
Gets really, really close to Gyro.
he's in the Hess sandwich right now. Look at Arturo right behind Grenade. Almost contact between them from how close they were.
He's
Look at
gonna try it
Arturo.
on turn one.
He's gonna go for the move. It's
There he
turn one.
goes. The move on turn one, side by side between them. The apex is for Arturo. Grenade Gorang trying to maximize the exit. Better exit for the Red Bull. A little bit of kiss there
Yeah, he's like,
between
"Hello,
front
Grenade.
wheels.
I'm here."
But they're gonna be side by side on the roofs and
Oh no!
rolling
And a
in the
big
contact
crash.
between them.
There goes Arturo into the
And
wall,
Arturo
and he's out
goes.
of this race.
Yep, that's gonna be safety car surely. That has to be a safety car, and there we have it. It's the third safety car for today as Arturo and Grenade Goran have that contact out.
And
Well,
Reflex was able to get past
going up.
Kerbo.
And Reflex, yeah, as well. Was able to overtake Gerbo.
So
Grenade
now we
Goran
have
and Arturo having that contact. Terminally for Arturo, who had the inside, but of course, you don't know how to measure how much the driver is going to be on the inside or the outside of that corner. Different lines for these drivers, but that can happen at that high speed.
and Dark. He's gonna get another chance. Can you believe it?
And Derek is going to take the chance. Well, Gyro has spun on their safety car.
Oh
Something
no!
has happened to him.
Oh no! That's terrible for
Oh,
Hess.
he touched that curb, I think, of one.
Grenade
Down
had
into
a
P11.
Grenade had his
Oh,
buddy with him, but now his buddy is gone, all the way down to P10. And look at the championship now. We have Max, the championship leader, with his two rivals behind him, Grenade and PW Jones, who are tied in the standings with each other. Reflex blowing this party. And it's a,
incredible.
let's see the position
Incredible race.
changes.
It's Lavi Fasol, who quietly has been
Yeah,
gaining some places up to P7.
and PW Jones. But what a race from Lavi Fasol in the Ferrari.
His teammate as well doing some great work for Ferrari. Up to P12, 8 places gained. Still not on the points, but with those penalties ahead of him, might be him promoting to those points. So, really good work from him. We'll see. Not too much drivers waiting for those stops. Pixon still with the mediums, I think. Yes, he is, isn't it? 4 stops for Dark. Might be 5 now, as in a few moments we'll be coming to the pits. And it will be only 2 laps of green flag. On this lap will be the safety car. Surely it has to be 2 laps of green flag racing, as always.
Yeah. You should only box if you had damage. I guess Waifu had damage.
Dark as well there. No, Dark didn't pit, I think. I think they know that they need to catch the safety car as soon as possible. It's important to do it at the moment because otherwise they can get relegated there after the safety car restart.
So this is the third safety car of this race. Once again, Max O'Connor leading the restart.
Once again, well, still we don't know because the restart has not been now. Probably a spin on their safety car can happen, as we saw Jarabo taking that mistake on Puon, I think it was, on losing 8 places, I think, from where he was. Now, for the third time today, the safety car will be turning off those lights, and it will be the race control saying once again that the safety car will be in this lap. And Max O'Connor now, as you were saying, I'm predicting, really good predictor, Gaziak, will be restarting
I just look
most
at
likely this safety car.
the facts and tell you them.
The teacher Gaziak now, Max O'Connor there will be leading that restart. Reflex at the back of him, and Grenade Goran There on third place, Reflex will be the second time that he is behind Max O'Connor on a restart. Remember, there was Jarbo on that second safety car that was just behind, and Reflex almost hitting that gearbox of Max O'Connor. He wants that win. They are both without penalties. Max O'Connor sliding through bus stop. Reflex gonna take that last corner, but Max O'Connor once again taking at least half a second out of the competitors behind him as he gets into La Source and gets that advantage. We'll see on traction who gets better traction, and it seems like Max O'Connor has nailed it, but it's only 3 tenths between them. And look at Reflex, he is really close to that leader, and he has that slipstream. DRS won't be activated on these last 2 laps, will be all down for racing as Reflex is catching but not enough. We will
PW
jump
Jones
to
is.
Jones
It's still not enough also.
fighting for that podium, not getting up there yet. Renate Goran utilizing that curb as they are going wide a little bit there on Rochelle's, both of them. Sema with that penalty gonna be relegated a little bit after that restart. Renate Goran suffering, I think, because he has lost 1.5 seconds with Reflex, and now Jones having that speed. Might be contact, probably Jarbo when Spawn collected his teammate. Might be, but I don't know. It seems like Renate Goran suffering
No, there was a
from
big fight,
damage.
and Arrow has spun.
But look at the fight for the podium now. As
Yeah.
Renate Goran seems to be suffering a lot. Lost half a second at least on that sector 2. That requires a lot of downforce. As we'll come to last lap of the race.
Grenade
Jones
apparently
just at
has
the
wing
back.
damage. That's not going to help him for
Has
the
to be.
final for the final lap of this race. PW
Has to
Jones.
be. Ooh, good cover from Renate Goran there, just at the middle of the racing line. Jones didn't know which way to go, and he had to brake a lot. Renate Goran blinking there with the energy battery. Well, the energy, sorry, display.
He has
As
broken front
Jones,
wing, no energy, and championship rival right behind him. This is not good
well,
for Grenade.
50% of energy for Renate Goran, 70% for Jones, who has the slipstream as well. Now at the exit of Radillion, at the back of that Haas, the lead for Max O'Connor seems to be saved. And there goes Jones with the slipstream. Now pulling to the inside, side by side between them. The braking has to be for Jones. He has more downforce on that front end. A little bit of contact, I think, there between Green Goran and Jones. Jones taking the inside out for light comes. Green Goran trying the switchback. Not gonna work with lower downforce. And that damage on the front end.
Can
Jones taking that podium.
can Grenade hold on? He's got Sema who has a penalty behind, but Fordor, at least he has that buffer of a car between him.
Labi Fasol, who is really doing good work. He's really close to Fordor Sedan, who is really close to Sema. They are both going to win at least a place with that penalty for the Spaniard on 5th place. And we'll see how this unfolds now on Sector 3 as we are only one sector to go. As Max O'Connor crosses that line with Reflex on his back. And Jones 3 seconds behind those leaders. Look at Sema at the
Coming
back of
in
Renate
sector
Goran.
3 now, the last few corners of this race. Oh, we have
As you're
someone
not saying
going.
that.
Sema going side by
He's going
side
to
with
the
Fordor
grass. Side by side.
with
A little bit of
Grenade.
ghosting, I think, between them. And the move is trying at the exit there. But
Grenade
Max O'Connor
not letting that
is
up.
gonna cross. Max O'Connor there is gonna cross to win this race. Driving fantastic.
Look at Lavi
That was
Fasol
fantastic.
P5. But yeah, Max O'Connor wins this race.
Oh, and
Man,
Labi Fasol overtook Fordor Sedan at the end of this race, side by side to the line. Max O'Connor leading this one. Reflex just behind him with a really good performance
what
as
an
well from
exciting
Combustion.
ending.
Yeah, and Jones on 3rd place, taking that place on the last lap of the race.
What a race. And there, we won't have time for interviews today, but we'll be back tomorrow for Tier 2 action at the same time as this race. 10 p.m.
As
Central Europe time.
Labi Fasol gets driver of the day.
See the final results.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Yeah, he is well deserved. Max O'Connor putting his foot down on this championship, winning the Belgian Grand Prix. This was Tier 3 action, the Misfits Racing League. And that was a very exciting race.
That was a really good performance from Max O'Connor, who extends the championship even Well, it was I think a reflex as well with the same points as grenade. I think so. At least 7 points more
And I think
between him and reflex.
we're gonna roll the outro Bido. Do you have any last words?
Well, I think we have a race in 3.5 hours with
No,
America's Tier 2, right?
no,
Or
that's
not?
tomorrow. The next race we're gonna be back for tier two tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We're gonna see the Wisp Masterclass tomorrow at Belgium.
Surely.
But tonight, everyone have a great night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you everyone for who's in the chat. That's it from me.
That's it for me as well. We'll see you tomorrow. So yeah.